Original post, my fiancée falsely accused me to get me arrested. She sneered. Have fun in jail, loser. She didn't know my one phone call was to my dad, the chief of police. Let me start by saying this. If you had told me a year ago that the woman I was going to marry would try to destroy my life, I would have laughed in your face. I 29 male, work in cybersecurity, live in a decent-sized city, and have always considered myself lucky in love. That was before Samantha 28 female closing parenthesis. We met at a tech conference 4 years ago. She was smart, witty, and breathtakingly beautiful. I fell hard. The relationship had its ups and downs, like any other, but for the most part, I thought we were solid. We moved in together after a year, got engaged on our 3rd anniversary, and were planning a spring wedding. Or so I thought. Over the last 2 months, things started to feel ... off. Samantha was distant. Her phone, which used to lie face up, was now constantly flipped over. She was always working late, and she'd gotten oddly defensive whenever I asked simple questions. My gut told me something was wrong, but I didn't want to believe it. Then came the night everything shattered. We'd had a minor disagreement. It was so trivial I don't even remember what it was. Maybe about money, maybe about furniture for the new apartment. Nothing serious. I went to bed early, thinking we'd sleep it off. At 2:13 a.m. Loud knocking jolted me awake. Police. 2 officers at the door. One asked my name, the other already had cuffs out. Sir, you're under arrest for domestic assault. I stood there, stunned. What the hell are you talking about? Your fiancée made a report tonight. You'll have a chance to speak at the station. I looked past them on, there she was. Samantha, crying, makeup smudged, looking scared. But then she looked me in the eye. An smirked. As they walked me to the squad car, she leaned in and whispered, have fun in jail, loser. It felt like a dream, a nightmare. At the station, they booked me, took my statement, which was basically me saying this had to be a mistake, and put me in holding. They gave me one call. Most people might have called a lawyer, but I called my dad. Hey Dad, I'm at Central Station. Samantha set me up. I need your help. You see, my father is the chief of police, just not in this precinct, and he's the kind of man who doesn't speak unless he needs to. So when he walked into the station in full uniform, an hour later, the room went dead quiet. He asked to see the arresting officer. Would you mind telling me why my son is in handcuffs? I'll never forget the look on the sergeant's face. They tried to play it by the book, but Dad wasn't having it. Where's the report? The body cam footage. The photos of these alleged injuries. It all started to fall apart. Turns out, Samantha's report was flimsy. She claimed I'd hit her in a specific timeline, no bruises, no witnesses, nothing. Her story contradicted itself multiple times. The officers, clearly panicked now, admitted they hadn't done much verification. Samantha had sounded convincing, and emotionally, and they acted swiftly, too swiftly. With my dad's legal connections and pressure from internal affairs, they released me that night. My name wasn't in the system yet, thank God, and Samantha, she vanished. Went to stay at her friend's place. Probably thought I'd crawl back or try to plead. Instead, I went no contact. Then I started digging. I found messages. Deleted texts she forgot to erase from our shared tablet. Conversations with a guy named Brad. Explicit ones. I found she'd been trying to get access to my accounts. Even visited a lawyer about common law assets, despite not being married yet. But the kicker, I was reviewing my will. I'd inherited a sizable chunk from my grandfather. Samantha was originally listed as a beneficiary, but I'd been planning to change that after some red flags popped up. I'd had the conversation with my lawyer 2 days before her accusation. She must have overheard. I filed a complaint. My dad recused himself, of course, but made sure I had a damn good lawyer. Samantha is now being investigated for filing a false police report and attempted fraud. There's even talk about conspiracy charges, since she may have collaborated with Brad. I haven't spoken to her since, and I don't plan to. I've moved back in with my parents for now while things settle. Legally, I can't sleep much. I keep replaying her smile in my head. That smug smirk as I was dragged away. This woman I loved was going to marry. Looked me in the eyes and tried to destroy me. But I'm not staying silent. She wanted me behind. Bars doubt, now she's the one under investigation. Update 1. She tried to ruin me. Now I know why. And it's even worse than I thought. It's been about 2 weeks since Samantha tried to get me arrested. I wish I could say life has returned to normal, but it hasn't, not even close. She hasn't reached out directly. No texts, no calls. Not even a vague email. But she's been busy. Through mutual friends. I learned she's been spinning her version of the story. Claiming I was unstable, that I became paranoid and controlling, that she tried to leave me, and I lashed out. It's incredible how convincing she can be. Some people believed her. Even one of my cousins messaged me asking, did you really put your hands on her? I blocked him. The damage she caused with just one light's hard to wrap my head around. She's playing the victim publicly. Posting vague quotes on social media like, Protect your peace, even if it means walking away from someone you once loved. With sad selfies, crying emojis. Thank you for the support messages. I blocked her on everything, but the betrayal, it still claws at me. Once I had a bit of space, I started looking into everything more seriously. I hired a private investigator. Call it paranoia, call it damage control. But I needed to know who I had really been sleeping next to for 4 years. What he found broke my heart all over again. Samantha had been cheating on me for months. With someone I knew, a friend of mine. Not a close one, but someone I'd invited over for dinner. Let's call him Todd. Todd works in marketing at the same company as Samantha. They started flirting, then hooking up. There were texts, photos, hotel receipts, even video surveillance from a hotel parking garage of them kissing. Worse. And Todd planned the accusation. The Pie found a deleted WhatsApp conversation from her backup cloud. Yes, he's that good. In it, Samantha told Todd she was afraid I'd find out about them. She wrote, "If he tries anything, I'll just say he hit me. No one will question it." She was setting the stage for months. Documenting fake fights in her notes app, taking photos of herself with old bruises from gym sessions or even makeup, planning. She even faked emails from me, created a burner account, and sent her self-threatening messages to use as evidence, all to destroy me before I could leave her or cut her out of the will. That's the part that makes me sick. She knew she was losing control, so she chose the nuclear option. And still, she went on social media, acting like I was the monster. Story was that I snapped when she tried to delay the wedding. She said I couldn't handle her independence, that I was obsessed with control. She told people I was unstable, jealous, and mentally abusive. She even posted a selfie with a caption that said, "When you walk away from narcissistic men, they show their true colors." But my Pie helped me hit back quietly. We compiled the messages, the footage, everything. Even found a few witnesses who'd seen her with Todd. CCTV from outside our apartment showed no signs of a struggle on the night of the alleged incident. In fact, it showed her calmly walking outside in heels, smiling on her phone. I showed it all to my dad's legal team. They said it was devastating evidence, maybe even enough to press charges beyond a false report. But I didn't go public. Not yet. My dad warned me, don't engage, let the law work. Don't let her provoke you. So I stayed silent, which was harder than anything. The legal side picked up quickly. With my evidence and legal team involved, Samantha was formally charged with filing a false police report. Once the forged emails and messages came to light, fraud was added. There's an investigation underway to see if Todd helped fabricate anything. If so, he could face conspiracy charges. I've filed for damages, legal fees, emotional distress, and defamation. So far, Samantha hasn't entered a plea, but her lawyer has gone silent, which makes me think they're panicking. She never thought I'd fight back. She counted on me being too heartbroken, too embarrassed, too soft. Emotionally, I'm a wreck. Some nights I still wake up thinking I'm in jail. The memory of her sneering, "Have fun, in jail, loser," plays like a loop in my head. I loved her. I would have died for her. And she wanted me in prison. She wanted my name ruined, my job lost, my future destroyed. It's like mourning a death, except the person is still alive, still lying, still pretending. Thank God for my dad. For the Pie, for my friends who stuck around. I've started therapy. I thought it would be awkward, but it helps a lot. Just having a place to dump the pain without judgment. I'm trying to rebuild. I don't know what kind of person Samantha is, deep down. I don't know if she ever loved me. But I do know this, she underestimated me. She lit a fire, and now it's burning her plans to ash. I'm still here, and I'm not done fighting. Update 2, she sent a letter from jail, and it changed everything. It's been just over 2 months since Samantha tried to ruin my life. A lot has changed since then. She's no longer out in the world pretending to be a victim. She's in custody, now, awaiting trial. Her charges include filing a false police report, fraud, and obstruction. There's talk of adding conspiracy to the list, depending on what they can prove about her and Todd's coordination. I've gone back to work, though it's not the same. For a while, I couldn't even sit through meetings without zoning out. My team's been understanding. My boss quietly moved me off any high-pressure projects, just until I'm back on solid ground. That gesture meant more than he'll ever know. I've started reconnecting with friends I lost touch with during the relationship. Some reached out after seeing Samantha's lies unravel. Others just showed up at my door. One of my oldest buddies even brought over a six-pack and said, "All right, let's fix your life, bro." And yeah, I've gone on a few dates. Nothing serious, just human connection, laughter, normalcy. Then, last week, something unexpected happened. A letter arrived from Samantha. It was handwritten, cream-colored stationery, the kind she used to write birthday cards with. Seeing her familiar cursive handwriting made my stomach twist. Part of me didn't want to open it. Another part needed to know what she had to say. It started off as an apology. Sort of. "I know you'll probably never forgive me," she wrote. but I want to explain why I did what I did. I wasn't thinking clearly. I was under so much pressure. Work, family, the wedding, you changing the will. I panicked. She said she never intended for things to get that far. She blamed mental health. Said she had anxiety attacks and couldn't think straight. Claimed I'd started pulling away from her emotionally. Said I wasn't present, and that she felt invisible. She wrote, I made a mistake with Todd, a horrible one, but I only did that because I felt neglected. He listened to me when you stopped caring. She never used the word cheating. Never said I lied. Just vague terms like mistake and spiral. She said she didn't think the cops would actually arrest me. Bet she just wanted to scare me. Make you take me seriously again, she wrote. She said she was sorry, but even in her apology, she painted herself as the one who was wronged. She ended the letter with, maybe one day you'll remember the good in me. Maybe then you'll understand that I wasn't evil. I was just broken. I didn't respond. I won't. I brought the letter to therapy. Read it out loud. My therapist sat quietly as I finished, then simply said, she still hasn't taken accountability. She was right. Even in writing, even in jail, Samantha couldn't admit what she'd done. Not fully. She tried to soften her crimes, romanticize her betrayal, excuse her choices by dragging in mental health, as if anxiety ever justified sending a man to jail under false pretenses. She never once mentioned my pain, my fear, the legal hell I went through, the damage to my name, my peace, my life. The letter didn't make me angry. It made me sad. It reminded me that the woman I loved was gone long before she ever whispered, have fun in jail. The letter gave me something I didn't expect. Closure. I don't hate her. I don't want revenge. I just want distance, clarity, peace. Lately I've been focusing more on myself. I've learned to trust my gut. The red flags I ignored, the controlling behavior, the emotional guilt trips, the secrecy, I see them for what they were now. I'm working on boundaries, saying no, putting myself first. Therapy's been one of the best decisions I've ever made. It's helping me sort through the trauma, but also the guilt, because, yeah, part of me still wonders how I didn't see it coming. I've reconnected with people who reminded me who I am, who I was before Samantha isolated me from everyone but her. I laugh more now. I sleep better. The nightmares are fewer. I've even picked up painting again, something I used to love before life got complicated, and I've started journaling. That's how this whole Reddit story began. It started as a vent, and now it's a mirror showing me how far I've come. If Samantha thought her letter would open a door back into my life, she was wrong, but it did open something. My eyes to who she truly was, and to the version of myself I never want to lose again. I'm not healed yet, but I'm healing, and that's more than I ever thought possible. Asterisk, final update, she tried to destroy my life, but I'm happier than I've ever been. It's been almost a year since the night I was falsely arrested. Looking back, it feels like a different lifetime, like I watched it happen to someone else. But I carry the lessons with me every day. I'm writing this final update not because I need closure, I've found that. I'm writing it for anyone who's going through something similar. You're not alone, and you can survive this life today. It's better than I ever imagined. I moved to a different city, not out of fear, but for a fresh start. I was offered a promotion at work shortly after everything settled, and with it came the chance to transfer to a new office. I said yes, without hesitation. The new environment has been healing. No sideways glances, no whispers, just people who know me for who I am, not who someone falsely claimed I was. I'm in a stable relationship now. I didn't rush it. We took things slow. She knows everything. I told her early on because I didn't want secrets. She listened without judgment and said, what matters is who you are now. That meant the world. My reputation is intact. My name is clear. My peace is back, and most importantly, I'm back. As for Samantha, she pled guilty to reduced charges in exchange for avoiding a lengthy trial. The evidence was overwhelming, and her lawyer likely convinced her a deal was the best she could hope for. She served a short jail sentence, was hit with a significant fine, and was ordered to complete community service and counseling. She's not legally allowed to contact me, and she hasn't tried. I hear she tried to restart her life in another state under a new job title, but the internet has a long memory. The story followed her. Turns out, people don't forget false accusations, fraud, or conspiracy, especially when receipts exist. Her social media is either wiped or locked down. I don't check anymore. I stopped caring. She made her bed. I don't wish her harm, but I also don't pity her. Actions have consequences. She thought she could destroy me and walk away clean. Life doesn't work like that. If there's one thing I've learned from all this, it's how fragile trust can be and how strong it needs to be to hold up under pressure. I ignored so many red flags. I let love blind me. I assumed good intentions when I should have set boundaries. Never again now. I listen to my instincts. If something feels off, I ask questions. If I'm uncomfortable, I speak up. And if someone shows me who they are, I believe them. I've also learned the value of having a support system. My dad, my therapist, my lawyer, my friends, they carried me when I couldn't carry myself. To anyone reading this going through betrayal, heartbreak, or injustice, surround yourself with people who believe in you, and don't be afraid to ask for help. Also, document everything. Always. Lastly, thank you. Reddit was one of the first places I told my story. It helped me stay grounded. Seeing comments from strangers who believed me meant more than you'll ever know. So where am I now? I'm content. I wake up without dread in my chest. I work hard. I laugh a lot more. I sleep deeply. I've learned how to be alone and how to love again without fear. I've built a life based on truth, resilience, and peace. To those who messaged me, shared their stories, or just listened, thank you. And to Samantha, wherever you are, I hope you get the help you need, but you will never have access to me again. Sometimes, the people we love the most can hurt us the worst. But how we rise afterward, that's what defines us. I rose, and I'm not looking back.